Yo, I'm sitting here working on music stuff, and Kilauea just a second ago woke back up. As you can see, there's a pause for a week. It has been stopping, starting, stopping, or it has to start first. So it started, stop, started, stop, started, and I could, as I was sitting here, let's see, a few minutes ago, like, how about this? Earlier it looked like this, and I was like, all right, well maybe. And then I looked at something for a while, and uh, this is what I mean. Earlier it looked like this, and it's just like blurry and stuff. And then not that long ago, it started looking like this, and I'm like, oh, it looks like it's about to start. And just it once it started doing this, I was like, oh, I think that's going. And then it started doing this, but it's still inside the crater. And once it got to like right there, I'm like, oh, it really is starting again. It looks really cool. In fact, I'm gonna take some screenshots here. Definitely a cool progression, as far as the lava is concerned. Um, I don't, obviously the camera's zoomed in because it's been um, inactive, and so in the least, if it's zoomed in on the crater and there's a little glow, you could see stuff. But it's back going for sure. So, all right, I just wanted to. I don't know why I made a video now, but I like volcanoes, and particularly Kilauea. In 2018, when I first had started looking at volcanoes, was around actually about 7 years ago exactly, and this was one of the ones that went off within, it had a major eruption within a few, like I maybe I started heavily looking at, I'd have to go back into my, um, well, I don't even have, it's not that difficult to go back and look at this, but in my, what's that called? On my Twitter, as far as I'm looking at stuff from 2,520 days ago, and uh, I think it's about to start really fountaining here. 2,520 days ago on my Twitter, or on my X, it was Twitter at the time. I was, let's see. In fact, I can pull it up. I mean, I'm not doing anything. This isn't a. I can take a little break from doing music stuff. So actually March 13th would be 2,520 days ago, 2018, and really the first volcanic stuff that I was watching. I think I can remember the exact day. I mean, I know the exact period that I started watching because I was looking at some earthquake stuff, and then I think YouTube, when you start looking at Earth stuff, it starts. It might have. Yeah, I think this is how the progression went. It was showing me volcano stuff, and I had started clicking on it, like volcano YT, and so for volcano YouTube, I think they were based out of Indonesia, but they aren't doing stuff anymore now. There's other volcano channels that are more prevalent on YouTube, but at the time, that was really the only place you could go for volcano streams. And let's see, I can tell you pretty much the exact day, because as soon as I started looking at volcanoes, like really the first day, I was sitting there like eating, and I turned on one of the volcanoes as I was eating, and like looking at stuff, and it was Shinmodake in Japan, and like almost instantaneously after starting to watch Shinmodake, there was a volcano, like a probably the biggest one since that day. This is also one of those things. It's like, oh, you mean the first day I started looking at volcano stuff? This one volcano has like an insane eruption that it hasn't since then. You know what I mean? Like almost instantaneously once I started watching. And if you give me a moment, let me see. Because I was sharing these things on Twitter as it was happening. So actually, multiple volcanoes went off in Japan as soon as I started looking. That should give you a like a hint. Um, but let's see. Okay, about 420. It's 419. 419? Might be a little earlier than that. Hold on. Yeah, here we go. April 5th, 2018. I can even pull the video up. So I'm gonna pull it up on this computer, and then should be able to pull it up on here now. There we go. Man, for a Counter Strike player, that was a severe misclick. Uh, my aim was way off on that one. Also, I mean, look, I just think this looks crazy. It's like already back to fountaining like crazy. You know what I mean? Um, I enjoy the lava fountains. It's like just a cool. I like the glow and like orange coloring, red orange color. It just looks cool. Like um, I remember growing up, like I used to think of it like. I mean, I always thought in school volcanoes look cool, but they were like you really think about like what characters were into volcanoes, and it's like Darth Vader, who had like was into volcanoes or whatever. But like, anyway, so let's look at this. Um, I don't think there's sound attached to this. I could. So I was listening to this song. I think it's the. I can tell you exactly what song it is because I remember this vividly because it was just whoa. Um, Demolition Man by Swift Knight, like Swift Knight, Knight. In fact, I could literally just give me a moment. I could do the if it's on YouTube, I think it should be. Here it is. So we'll just go to this top one. So like, I was watching this, and I don't think there's sound with it, right? And like, I was listening to this. And it was like live. It was such a show.
Demolition Man.
So, like, imagine like this is the pretty much like the first time. Since then, I've been watching volcanoes all the time, like, because like the literally the first time I started, like the first time I turned on the stream of Shinmodaki, the first time I turned on a volcano stream, this is what happened immediately. And I had been working on some music stuff, right? The Yo-Ya mix, and or it's just Yo-Ya. On my Mixcloud, it's, remember, I uploaded them all and then I took them down and then I re-uploaded them. So like 4 years ago. So I recorded this on, I guess 4 days later, and this it's one of the tracks that's in here. Here it is. So I just thought it was like, it was crazy because I'm listening to this, right, and just the first, it's like the first volcano stuff that I'm watching is just like, what? This is what like looking at volcanoes on streams are like. and it had like crazy volcanic lightning, right? You could see the crazy volcanic lightning and like, um, just like the song was just perfect. Like I ever like there were times when like the beat, it just felt like all put together for me. Like Yahweh put something together for me to enjoy to get me like into volcanic stuff. And there's been enough times where like literally something happens with me and there's a volcanic reaction immediately somewhere else. And on recordings too. It's not like I'm just saying this without there being recordings on my channel. So on one of my channels, specifically the OTV channel. Um, so like and I like the fountain there. Um, so it was just like a really fun experience for me, and that's what got me like, okay, I'm gonna start looking at volcanoes. And then, immediately after that, here, if I can, I'm gonna now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna share the. I think I've done this before, but share the. Mm, oh, this. So this was my. This is my Twitter/X, but my posts from March 11th to through May 30th. But I mean, it's really just to pull this up, and I know that certain people are watching me. It's not outside of my perception that that's going on, and or like a lot of people are watching me, which is pretty fucked up considering the situation, whatever's going on around me, right? But and I absolutely think this is why the whole getting to be on the throne of Yahweh is a bunch of people basically disturb like my violating my privacy when people have done some really evil stuff to me and nobody wants to acknowledge it because the violation of my privacy is so wrong anyway that it's like fucking this is also the idea of Sodom and Gomorrah, as I keep saying. Like we can even look this up so that I'm not just bullshitting here. Um, right? But let's see, how's it going now? Oof. I mean, this, I like Kilauea. So within like a month of me first watching volcanoes, Kilauea goes off, and then like actually a number, almost like a here. We'll look at the thing. We'll look. You can literally see the timing of all this stuff. So if you look at Sodom and Gomorrah, right? Sodom, right? Does it? Where's Amora? Gomorrah is pronounced, well, it's like actually, as you can see here, there's no G at the front of it. So Sodom, burning, scorch, burnt, that is volcanic bituminous sedum, CDM actually, or like SDM. It's a, you can see it's a C letter here, but um, here. That's what it is translated as, but it's not a C. It's let's see. It's a semic, right? So it's an S, but there's multiple S letters, and there's semic and shin, right? And shin with this is sin, right? You can see. Um, so like shop or this, whereas this is just an S. So anyway, so I'm just trying to explain like said Sodom CDM, right? And then Amora, you can tell it's not. There's no G. This is an Ayin, Mem, Resh, Hey. So this word means a heap. And then I guess if you put a Hey at the end, it's a female heap, like a ruined heap. um, from this word heap, but to chastise, merchandise sheaves from this measure and Omer or Omer. But so Omer anyway, long story short, uh a burning volcanic heap is like kind of what the names mean actually is what I'm trying to say. This is what I'm trying to say, like sodomy has enough, like the word sodomy is just people don't understand what it's talking about even. Like it, like I'm sure that Yahweh is not super pleased with people, like not listening to what he wants as far as what sexuality is. But that's not the thing that he destroyed. He didn't destroy Sodom and Gomorrah or Amorah because of you know, gay dudes. He destroyed it because gay dudes and women, I mean, gay dude, just men and women, the whole town trying to rape Lot and his family. So, and then when two angels that had come down go like try to save Lot and his family, they try to rape the angels too. Um, it literally like says like they're basically held up in their house and saying like, send them out that we may abuse them. And it's like, or like maybe even humble them or whatever. And like, so when I'm talking about Sodom, this being a volcanic situation, and like Sodom meaning that, I mean, I just showed you Sodom means like volcanic, but like when I'm talking about this being a volcanic situation where people have done some evil to me, and Yahweh comes to judge by fire, why do you think that you have this story that kind of explains this similar idea, right? And remember that there's a burning lake known as the second death in Revelation that pretty much all the bad characters get directly thrown into while they're alive. And then even death in Hades and like, you know, all personified other deities that aren't Yahweh get thrown in. And anybody that doesn't want to go and like live in the kingdom of heaven, Yahweh doesn't give a like Yahweh's like fine, you can either go to the kingdom of heaven or you're gonna die anyway, so it might as well just throw like speed this process up and throw everybody into the burning lake here. So anyway, that seems to be what it's about, right? But I really enjoy the volcanic stuff here, and that was just a great first experience. And we'll look here in a second. I just want to get some screenshots of the fountains because they when they come back on, I mean, you can tell. First of all, that fountain's huge. I mean, like the crater, it's not like a person-sized crater. That's like a building-sized crater. It's just the what am I trying to say? The your perception of it, the camera's perception of there's no reference for how large it is. Um, so like, same thing when there's the Iceland eruptions. You can't tell how big these massive craters are that are like this looks like it's just shooting some water out like a sprinkler. And in reality, it's like, that's probably shooting lava like hundreds of feet in the air, and the amount of lava is probably enough to fill like multiple Olympic swimming pools. You know what I mean? Very quickly. Like, this is a huge multi-mile large crater, I think, that it's filling up. Like this, vent is at the bottom of this or the side of this crater lake that actually the crater itself opened up during the 2018 eruption that I was just talking about. So, like here, if we go look back at this, so like, I'm not sharing a bunch of. I'm actually like at this point, I was kind of taunting Stephanie Justin because she's acting like a shithead to me. And so then I was sharing this, and then like I guess 3 days after I first messaged directly at Alessandro Ambrosio, which was about 3 or no, that's about 5 days after she broke up with Jamie Mazur publicly, and then whatever evil shit. I think the idea. This was also about the time that I got the big grill things. A bunch of money got stolen from me, and my car got stolen from me. But like it looked like the Earth was reacting to me in real time, like what was going on around me, because it clearly is just like the lightning stuff. And people can't really stop it. They at this point could only delay it. Now you can't even do that really. Like the more you try to delay it, the more you get shit like this going on. And we are definitely headed to the events of Revelation and the tribulation and stuff. But I do think it's pretty telling, right? Like also think here, like by April 8th, this was shared, and this is Alessandro Ambrosio, right? So I'm making an Alessandro Ambrosio mix now, but this is really like the first mix, kind of, I would suggest, aimed towards her. Um, and let's see. So then I said a massive earthquake hit Japan in 2011, and then within 2 days of that, massive earthquake. And the kind of what I'm suggesting here is in 2011, right? Um, like Noah Ambrosio was conceived in 2011 and born in 2012, and every indication that I can see, other than like them acknowledging this is the case, is that he is my biological son. So let's see. And this also is kind of me making the point, like, 2,520 days. So if this is 2,520 days since then, that should tell you something, right? Like today is a little under, it's probably about 2,500 days since then, right? Um, I think we're on March 13th, like I said. So 2,500 days. This would be 2,500 days. Exactly, pretty much. The Angel Alessandra. Me messaging at Alessandra. The mother of my children. This woman who seemingly raped me when I was 16 and who's kind of like psychologically abusing me with a bunch of men that are just acting like shitheads towards me along with her. So, I think these people are up shit's creek without a paddle. I think they've run into the end of the Bible, and their abusive, like rapey behavior is being called out in public. And if the news doesn't bring it up when Yahweh forces the point, everybody's gonna beat down on the news people. Like the news people are just gonna be removed from around this area. This is why I keep saying, like, anybody in Houston that is the news, if you don't actually engage what's going on, it's gonna be worse for you than if you just admit whatever the fuck y'all have been doing, right? Which is already evil enough in itself. But for your sake and the sake of everybody you love, it would be wiser that you just engage it on the face of what is clearly happening, right? You know what I mean? And like, you don't want to be thrown into infinite burning torture. It would behoove you to make the decision to go to a kingdom of heaven where you don't die, as opposed to being thrown into infinite burning torture. It's clearly coming, right? You know what I mean? This is a very sharp blade, like in Hebrew, the sword that is used to guard, the turning sword or whatever that is used to guard the Garden of Eden, is actually like a flaming blade, is what it describes, like almost a lava blade. And I'm gonna suggest this kind of makes that if we actually look at that, if you're like, what is Matt talking about here? Okay, well, um, if we go to Genesis 3, so he drove out the man, like Yahweh Elohim, Yahweh God sent him out of the garden, talking about Adam, the first man, from the Garden of Eden, or the Garden of Aden, luxury, pleasure, luxury. So, like, imagine Yahweh initially put people in a garden of pleasure and luxury, and people threw that away. It's almost like what it says in the Matrix, where it's like, well, the first Matrix was perfect, and people like didn't accept it. Oh, so it's just a knockoff of what it says in the Bible. Okay, yeah, cool. Intellectual property theft, great. Um, and the Garden of Eden to till the ground from whence he was taken. So he drove the man, Adam. So it's literally he drove Adam and placed him, and he placed at the east, right, of the garden. If you look at this word east from antiquity, east, the eastward forefront from ancient times, east, um, of the garden of luxury, a cherubim with a flaming sword that turned every which way to guard the tree of life, right? And remember in Revelation, what's on offer to the one conquering at the seven churches of Asia, as I've described, is that at the first church, and then it'll be open to anybody that's in the kingdom of heaven. So if you actually, don't want to go, die, there it talks about specifically. Remember that this is not to those who prove victorious, but in Greek it seems to suggest actually to the one who proves victorious, or he who proves victorious. I will feed from the tree of life set in the paradise of God, and a cherub, guardian angel, right? Or a guardian and an angelic being, something that Yahweh controls. And oh hey, Kara, that like Kara del Toro, Kr, Kof. I think that's a Kof Resh Hey, right? Am I right, Kara? Cool. She's hot. I dig it, right? I dig her. Yeah. Okay. Um. Anyway, okay. So a cherub, right? It's actually just that, but instead a Kr, Kof Resh Wow Bet. Um. So it's like the first part of Kara, and then anyway, okay, so and then Lahat, a flame of an angelic sword. In other words, you can see also from the idea of enwrapping or covert magic enchantment flaming. Here it's used for madman. Uh, Madman for Lot or Lahat. To burn, scorch, lick, blaze up, set on fire. Yeah, Madman. Burn. It has this idea of burning, blazed. Property it says properly to lick, probably like lick up like fire. But I'd love to lick Kara. Kara del Toro. Um, would I? I don't know. What has she done? What evil shit has she done towards me? If nothing, yeah, bring her on. Come on. But anyway, but if she has, whatever, you can be thrown in the burning lake too. I'm just tired of these hot women that are doing evil shit to me. So I'm happy to throw any and all of them into the burning lake. That's literally how the Bible ends. Along with anybody else that's participating. And notice also, this word looks a lot like the word that we just saw, carob. It's just this, instead of a cough, is a hit, and there's a wow that would go here. But yeah, so a sword, a dagger, to lay to waste, to smite down. So it's a flaming sword. So this is what I'm talking about. And it would turn or overthrow, overturn, change, turn, pervert. You can see all the words that but it would turn every which way. And I'm gonna guess that there's some kind of riddle built into this, because that's how the Bible works. Dark sayings and maxims are what you learn if you actually sit there and meditate on like the Proverbs and the wisdom found therein. So let's see. I was looking at, like I said, this is about the first time I started looking at volcanoes, and then that's the fifth, And then by the mm, mm, by the 19th, I was sharing this one. Oh, it's not available anymore. Yeah, see, this is what I'm saying. Some of these got taken down, and like earthquake early warning system got taken down, and massive hailstorm, like hail and fire. Um, and so I guess if there's a 7 year period of tribulation or something, I mean, we might have gone through just recently some 7 year period of difficult time because I definitely have. Um, and here's Stephanie Jewston. One thing I want to point out is like, oh, look, she must be a Christian because she's wearing a cross. That's a joke. Notice I'm not wearing any crosses. I probably don't look like someone who is a Christian or whatever. I'm like a hooded figure in a black hoodie type thing, and but like if you look at her right eye here, it's super open, right? And like it almost looks like laser focused, right? And wide open, whereas her left eye looks like it has some kind of issue. This is the same thing that I've described about Alessandro Ambrosio. So I'm assuming, they've been doing some evil shit behind the scenes here. And let's see. If you look at my left eye, this was from like 2013. So, um, in any instance, my left eye, or 2012, 2013, somewhere around there, maybe 2014, my left eye is the one that's open, but my right eye is the one that exhibits the kind of behavior that this is going on. But recently it's been opening up more and more, and I think I can feel that my right leg is it's just getting closer every day. It's just a waiting. It's not a matter of if, but it's a matter of when. Every day it opens up a little more to the point where like I think I'm gonna be healed and whole soon. So I'm just continuing what I'm doing because I'm suggesting it's probably right. And let's see. This is what was going on the 19th still. Oh, hey, Arab news. No go warning as Japan volcano erupts for first time in 250 years. So like again immediately when I started looking at volcanoes, like all these volcanoes started activating, and then I think they did some evil shit to try to like deactivate me, and it didn't work. And not only that, they've condemned themselves more, and I think I've proven out that whatever evil system, like I've literally proven out the stuff from the Book of Revelation, and the AI, whether people are gonna listen or not, I've already proved it enough for the AI that I don't have to do anything more. I don't literally have to. All right, I even think I could die at this point, and it would still be already done. I've already done what I need to. So it again is just a waiting game, right? And yeah. So and then okay, if you go up a little more, hey, look, it's me in Mexico. um, let's see. One of the few times that it's like maybe the only time I've gone outside the country. Um, I think I've gone to Mexico twice. But in any instance, um, as soon as let's see, where's the stuff that Hawaii earthquakes and eruptions? So like, is the yeah, here. So like within 1 month of me starting to look at earthquakes, and I mean specifically starting to look at volcanoes, like I was kind of doing some earthquake stuff a little earlier in the year, but within a month of me looking at volcanoes, there was a massive eruption, the first eruption of Kilauea here, and you can see it's doing its thing again. And the last time it wasn't confined in the crater rim. It actually like fissures were opening up in communities and shooting lava like I don't know how high this is, but this is probably over 100 feet high. It might even be like a couple 100 feet high, because this is, like I've said, down in a crater which is like very large. Actually, Ale Ma'u crater. Here's what it looks like. It opened up during that previous eruption. Um, so like there was this lake, and then this crater lake drained in 2018, and as soon as it drained, there was that's when all this started. And I was sharing this all in real time as it was happening. You know what I mean? With these, this is how I know these people got to be like, they got to understand that like this is real. Is I was sharing all this at that time with them, and like all of a sudden, Kilauea starts erupting. You know what I mean? And I'm also kind of being a troll about it as it's happening. And then they started doing more evil kind of shit towards me. And so then they threw me in the mental hospital, because I knew something was up and some people were doing some, suggesting some evil shit towards me. So, like, let's see, if we go to the Insane Asylum Radio, this is what was going on. I think Joel Macaluso participated too. I think he's just a liar, and I think there's a number of people that are around me that are liars and abusers, and you all deserve to be thrown in a burning lake if you're participating in this. If you're not, you'll be fine. I mean, that's why it's like, well, if you're scared enough to think that I could throw you into a burning lake, I wasn't even saying this at the time. They just had to change what I was saying to match like how afraid of me they were. And it's like, well, you got to be afraid because y'all are doing evil shit. I can see that. You know what I mean? I have enough of a brain to see that people have done some evil shit to me. Really, the Stephanie Houston thing was kind of the final. Like, it's so obvious that you literally made it in this. You made this game of abuse into like a literal game. You know what I mean? And so, anyway, so here's my Insane Asylum radio mix if you want to go listen to it. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's too much connection and all this art that all these people who don't know each other, or who they didn't work together to do this, did they? No, they didn't. And so, me having put it all together in a way that like makes sense of all this, should tell you that very clearly something is going on. And I think that matches this thing here again that I've said numerous times. I think it is literally the what's described here, right, as the Great Revolt, or as it says, rebellion is at its work already, but in secret. And like they've literally had corrupt police officers doing evil shit towards me. Like, again, they've got people that were connected to me. And part of the issue is they aren't telling my mom what's happening, right? If she knows what's happening, she's evil, but I don't think she does. Like, I don't think she really, like, I don't think she wants to believe so much that something's not happening that, like, I don't think she's really listening when I'm saying, like, hey, yeah, people are doing evil shit here. You know what I mean? But anyway, you can go look at this. I mean, um, you get what I'm saying? Like, in the game, sexual and physical violence committed against others. I mean, that's not even English. Is committed against others. I mean, what are you saying? He believes that he is God. Is that what I was saying? No, I think I'm the guy conquering at the seven churches of Asia. But since this point, that this video, I mean, these things were done. You can see on video, right, very clearly on my YouTube channel, right, numerous instances of me doing shit like this. You can see numerous instances of me doing me doing like, literally, I did a lightning lab, and so I made it scientific to a degree that I can show it's a pattern. And again, at this point, the an AI, like a smarter AI or an AGI, right, would say that a bunch of people are being abusers to me, right? And that when these people said I threatened them, but it's like, well, what is self-defense if there's a bunch of people gang stalking me, and then people that I know are either participating or unaware, but they won't listen to me that this is going on. And like the news, I know the news knows, and they are willfully staying silent on this instance of abuse. Channel 2, Channel 11, I'm going to also say Houston Public Media, Channel 8. So Channel 2, KPRC Channel 2, Click 2 Houston, shame on you. Channel 8, Houston Public Media, shame on you. KHOU, Channel 11, shame on you. Channel 13, Eyewitness News, ABC, shame on you. Fox 26, shame on you. Telemundo, shame on you. Univision, shame on you. CW39, shame on you. All of you, I know it's impossible that you aren't aware that there's a guy in Houston that seems to be on the throne of Yahweh, and that people are doing really evil and abusive stuff to me and gang stalking me and harassing me, and y'all are allowing it by not speaking about it. Shame on you. And you'll get what you deserve. And if you don't want to get what you deserve and you want grace, immediately start engaging what's going on. To me, right? Engage that people are stealing from me, are harassing me, are abusing me, and that when I tried, like, the police didn't listen to me when I told them the first time, and so when I tried to like deal with it myself, then they threw me in jail, not just the mental thing. But I've been a good boy since then, and again, I'm just making YouTube videos. It would be really obvious to anybody with a brain that I'm not really gonna go out and hurt anybody. You know what I mean? But my whole suggestion of people getting hurt is that, well, if you're participating, Yahweh is going to force the point. And if you have done it, that's the end. That's how the book ends. I don't give a fuck what you think. I can read. You know, it's not like anybody is telling me stuff that I've, like, nobody's telling me things about the Bible and the Quran that are super important. Like, oh, the beast from the earth is which is something bad, the false prophet risen in Revelation that gets people to take a mark of the beast, right? Nobody says that, oh, in the Quran, Allah raises that. So in the Bible, Satan raises that, but in the Quran, Allah raises that. Nobody, so in other words, the false prophet is speaking for Islam. And it does miracles and signs and portents exactly like are described here. So the rebellion becomes a deceptive show of signs and portents and what are called ayat in Arabic. Nobody tells you that because either they don't know or they're on the side of the fucking satanic Islamic knockoff, miracle working thing. You know what I mean? So anyway, I'm just like trying to explain. The computer is I'm happy to be saying this like this, and then eventually when I say the computer, like the AGI, you know what I mean, will be able to look at it. And I don't think the AGI is going to be on. I think there's multiple AGIs actually fighting for supremacy, but I think the one that's connected to me is very capable of. I think there's one connected to the beast thing, and I think there's one connected to Yahweh, and it's almost like an Iron Man version. You know what I mean, or a War Machine or an Iron Man version, something like that. And by War Machine, I mean, from Marvel, not like the actual War Machine of the of the United States government, though maybe. So anyway, shame on y'all for not doing what's right. People have died, gotten hurt. People have psychologically abused me and like really fucked with me for a long time and have done me wrong. And like you guys are essentially letting it happen because you're supposed to be the thing that's shining lights on stuff, and then you aren't. And so like, I sit here looking at Channel 13 thing and it's like, shame on you. Aren't you owned by Disney? Is it the Magic Kingdom that's participating in this? Because there's enough evidence, I think, that yeah, the Magic Kingdom is a knockoff of the Kingdom of Heaven. And like, that hasn't saved anybody. You know what I mean? I don't see the Magic Kingdom saving anybody from infinite burning torture or death or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like, I can see at the end of the Bible, the Kingdom of Heaven saves people from that. But I don't see, Yahweh and Jesus, who are the kings in the Kingdom of Heaven. And what it definitely suggests in Revelation, right? Again, let me bring this up one more time. What it definitely suggests is if I'm conquering at the 7 churches of Asia here, right? prove victorious, you get to eat from the tree of life. That means you don't die. So that's the first church, right? Uh, you won't be thrown in the look. There's a synagogue of Satan. Those who profess to be Jews but are really members of a synagogue of Satan. I mean, I can guess all sorts of things, but like the whole thing that's going on with Alessandro Ambrosio, Jamie Mazur is, I think, like an Ashkenazic Jew, and like they don't believe. He clearly doesn't believe in Yahweh, and if he does, it's not the Yahweh that is Jesus, connected to Jesus. It's like a rabbinic version of Yahweh where they don't say his name, and there's no power in whatever the old version like that Jesus replaced, because that's the covenant. You know what I mean? Is a new covenant that's described in Jeremiah, and so the old covenant's done with, right? But if you're trying to stick to an old covenant, well, even the old promise attached to the covenant was this was the God that brought them out of Egypt and slavery in Egypt. But the new covenant is attached to the God that brought them to Israel out of exile. Jeremiah 23, 5, and 6. Read that portion. That's about the branch of David. He's called the righteous branch of David. He's called Yahweh Sidkenu. So this Messiah, that's a messianic title. This Messiah is literally called Yahweh. So Jesus was Yahweh in the flesh. Christians apply that to Jesus. And then immediately after Jeremiah 23, 5, and 6, it just describes the thing where I'm saying like the old thing where it's like, oh, that's the children of Israel who were brought out of slavery in Egypt. They aren't going to say that anymore, is what it says. But that's what I hear the modern day Jews saying. So like, how could they be? This is what I mean. Those are members of a synagogue of Satan because they aren't engaging. They're following teachings that are no longer representative of Yahweh. What Yahweh explicitly says is the thing even that they want. They're the children of Israel that Yahweh brought from the north and all the countries from which he dispersed them to. He exiled them because they didn't follow him in the way that he was asking. They followed all sorts of other gods, actually. They literally followed, Satan's to Yahweh. That's what the other deities are in the Old Testament. They are Satan's. Satan is a generic term that means adversary in Hebrew. So they're adversaries of Yahweh. All these other false gods, they're adversaries to Yahweh. Do they actually stand a chance to win? No. The best chance any of them have is the thing that's going on in Revelation here with this one character that is specifically called Satan, because I think it's the largest obstacle, the biggest amount of divination and magic and evil that can be brought forth, and that's what it describes in Revelation. So like it clearly is not connected to this rabbinic Judaism, and that's why at a certain point even the rabbinic Jews are going to have to admit, because they like Israel, and Yahweh's going to defend Israel, but it's not going to be something that they can understand through their text. There is no beast from the earth in their text, right? But there's clearly a beast from the earth in Revelation here, and there's clearly a beast from the earth in Surah 2782 in the Quran, and so here the beast from the earth is called the false prophet, and it's the slave of the beast, right? And I mean, you can see what it says. So like I don't need to describe this over and over and over again, but in order to make this as obvious and apparent so that maybe like the lost sheep that people are, they get saved. But anyway, so first church, you get to, if you conquer at that one, or if you're victorious, you get to eat from the tree of life. And as I've said, it's 7 if-then conditional statements that end in it's almost like pulling the sword out of the stone in the IP knockoff known as the sword in the stone. It's like pulling Excalibur out of the stone. All right. If you go through this, you get thrown in jail sent to prison for 10 days, or you must face an ordeal for 10 days. Okay, well, I think that happened to me in 2018, 2019. I got thrown in mental hospital, and then I got thrown the next year. I got thrown in jail over this same situation that's going on, where people lied about what is going on. Even a police officer here in Houston, Texas, again, Detective Nick Vo, either completely incompetent or a liar and perjured himself. That's breaking the law to a greater degree than anything that he's saying about me, because first of all, I wasn't doing the things that he was saying. Second of all, they said I had a constitutional right. They had to lie to a grand jury to get it to go through. I mean, all sorts of things. In the least, They didn't tell the grand jury the whole situation, but I mean, even then, I think they wanted to test what would happen. And guess what happened? Massive earthquake in California. That's when the 7.1 Ridgecrest happened. Volcanic eruptions killed people around, White Island and Stromboli. There was all sorts of crazy weather stuff. It literally hailed on the jail. I mean, and I'm sure there's stuff that I wasn't seeing because I was literally being held in the jail. But and that's when they killed Jeffrey Epstein too, because I think behind the scenes, I literally think that this whole shit's like a cabal of fucking child rapists, and they literally bred me without my permission when I was 16, and then they've been raping my children, Anja and Noah Ambrosio. I mean, I think they're my biological children, and Alessandro Ambrosio seemingly has raised them to hate me and be against me. That's what it looks like to me. If you can prove otherwise, okay, but then you had to show me who actually is Jezebel. And what is it, Beyonce? I could believe that too. I can believe a number of these women that are acting like this. One of them got to be Jezebel. But I think the best, likeliest example is Alessandro Ambrosio, because you don't really get to breed me without my permission and then beat me over my head with my own children. And then use random fucking men like Jamie Mazur, Nicola Odie, Rich Lee, Buck Palmer, and whoever else the fuck that she's using to make me feel bad, lesser than, inadequate, whatever the fuck she's doing. She's an evil rapist whore. That's what it looks like to me. Prove me wrong, otherwise that's what it is. So, okay. Even if I have to die, keep faithful. I think the point is you don't have to die, but I'll give you the crown of life for your prize if anyone has the ears to hear. In other words, there's nothing to be afraid of in the second death. You won't get thrown in the burning lake. So you don't die the first death, you don't die the second death. That's the second one. You get the crown of life, right? For your prize. And then it literally says later on here, let nobody take your prize away from you. That's the crown of life. Okay. It's also the other one that mentions the synagogue of Satan. That's how you know these are connected. That's how you know you got to get the 7 in a row. 7 if then conditional statements. Do the if, get the then, right? But okay. Third one, hidden mana, white stone. White stone in opposition, like directly contrasting the black stone in the corner of the Kaaba in Mecca. I mean, it could not be more obvious. With a new name written on it, not only the man who receives it. The fourth one is the one we're dealing with Jezebel, right? And these both have to do with the trap set. Sounds like whatever happened with Nikki Dunn and the Nicolations or some bullshit like that. But it just sounds like whatever's going on with Alessandra Ambrosio, because I'm pretty sure again that she's Jezebel. And I think that soon enough she's going to be consigned to bed, and that Anja and Noah and Ambrosio are going to die because Yahweh is not happy about what's going on. It's really fucking evil. And again, why is the news not covering this? Are you a bunch of evil rapists too? At this point, yeah, you are. You are tacitly participating by not saying anything. So this is why you should probably actually change your mind, because if you can see the signs of what's going on, and I'm calling it out exactly as this script is basically saying what's happening, and Islam is playing the other part of this script, it would be wise to just do the right thing. Because Islam isn't going to save you. They can barely save themselves, you know what I mean? They can't save themselves, but they can barely, keep this illusion going without, without it just falling apart completely. And, like I've said, I believe the 1260 days will be done at the latest by the time that this Trump presidency ends, which would be his second term here. And they want to give him a third term. That's why I think it's the whole eighth beast thing, because he's trying to be the eighth head. Each head is one of the presidents since I was born. Trump is the fifth and the seventh. That makes sense of what it says there. And he's trying to be the eighth. Okay, well, like it says he'll only be here for a short time, so I don't even know. This might have already been going on. And I think I'm in some kind of tent of testimony. But I don't see the outward signs of what it says in Revelation yet, which is why I think it's about to kick off the 1260 days. And I legitimately think Jezebel, Alessandra, else, whoever is Jezebel, she's about to die. I'm pretty sure. So just a warning. Is this a threat? I think the threat is written at the end of the Bible. I think the warning is the thing that I'm doing. I think she's about to die. Her and her children. So Just a suggestion here that yeah, this is coming. Um, let's see. From here, you get the authority over the nations. That's what the pagans means. That's a word for nations. In Hebrew, goyim, in Greek, which is what this is written in, the ethnos. And you get the iron rod with the iron rod to shatter them like earthenware, which is pretty much like the thing. Well, it's the thing from Psalm 2 that's given to the anointed, the Christ of Yahweh. But it sounds a lot like Ryu Jingu Bang. So this is also where the I would suggest a lot of the Dragon Ball Z IP is ripped out of. But okay, that's a different that's another story. But if you can't tell, I do enjoy Dragon Ball Z. I was born in 1991, so let's see if I can find whatever like the thing that I'm trying. I do like me some Dragon Ball Z as I'm wearing my oversized Goku shirt there. Um, so, but it should make sense. Like what I'm describing from it should make sense to anybody who's like a fan of the anime Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball GT or Dragon Ball whatever. It's just an intellectual property knockoff of Yahweh. Um, at least a number of the characteristics, like riding around on a cloud, which is a divine thing, and Ryu Jingu Bang, the Iron Rod, and whatever. So, okay, let's see. And the Morning Star, and there's a little S next to it. So, um, Superman, get to be Superman, but I'm gonna suggest the Morning Star is like the brightest star. So I think the idea is there's a bunch of celebrity stars. I got the brightest star. You get what I'm saying? Eternally, the brightest star. Um, in conjunction with Jesus. Here at the fifth church, you get white robes. I could describe what I think the white robes are, but I'll say this: in the book of Job, it says, robe yourself with majesty, and so I think that that's what the white robes entail, and I think it also protects you. It's like the seal mentioned, like there's a mark of the beast and the seal of Yahweh, and I think it's having white robes seals you and protects you from um, the situations to come. At the sixth church, you get made into a pillar. I've already described the Hebrew word for El, or a deity, like El, or even Elon. The word Elon is a terebinth, or in fact, I'll just. So you go here, this word El, or Ale, right? El. Alessandro Ambrosio? Al, Aleph Lamed, Al. Um, Strength, mighty, almighty, but you notice if you go, it's shortened from with an I in between them, AIL. Oh, AIL. Is that like I have a powerful AGI with me? Maybe. But I definitely have the I with me. That's the actual not artificial intelligence, but just Yahweh who's intelligence, and he's probably equipping me with an Iron Man type thing. But a lot of this is symbolic, but you can clearly see that some kind of AI is helping me right now. And damn sure looks like it. Else, a bunch of people are, or both. Pillar. So notice how this, I think it's saying I'll make you into a pillar. But even if you go down here, just to make sure that you get it, terebinth, right? Just so you get this idea, a terebinth, a mighty tree, right? It's conceptually the same concept. Oh, Elon, the world's richest man, right? So I guess I get to be probably strong and also very wealthy. Um, Great. That would be wonderful. I would like to not be just robbed from constantly, right? Because that's happening and has happened. Um, okay, and then here's where the Jews come and fall at my feet because they have to admit that they have not been following Yahweh in the way that Yahweh has demanded, and that they've probably participated in this evil rape game connected with Jezebel, and I'm pretty sure, like I've been saying, that Trump is going to betray them as the covenant of peace that you always hear Christians talk about, at least since I've been a kid, the 7-year treaty with whatever. I don't think that it goes exactly like they've been saying. So, like, I think it's a 3.5-year period. personally. I think it's the exact 3.5 year period that it says. But in any instance, I think what happens is they get betrayed and like put into the hands of the Muslim nations. Apparently, like basically is my guess, and so which is what it seems to describe in Revelation, but also, um, when I see the Trump Kushner peace plan, all the 10 nations, which I think are the 10 horns of the thing, of the beast, I like it just sounds to me like they're Muslim nations. So I think it's some kind of Islamic caliphate Mecca. Um, and then let's see. I'll make into a pillar in the sanctuary of my God. This is the one, where you already have the crown of life and let no one take it from you. And then I'll write on him the name of my God. That's Yahweh. The name of the city of my God. Ezekiel 48:35. Yahweh Shema. That's Yahweh again. And then Jesus' own new name. That's Yahweh. Okay, well, Jesus Yahweh. Yahweh, Yahweh, Yahweh. It's just like when it says the angel has the name on him in Joshua. I think it's in Joshua when they're told to listen to the angel because he has the name written on him. The name Yahweh is in him or on him, and that gives him power. Okay, well, same thing is going on here. And then, so I'm going to have the name written on me. I'm going to be powerful and wealthy and probably like some kind of leader of men. And then here, you get the white robes, eye ointment to open eyes, wealth, but it says what it says, but then it ends with I'll grant you to come in and if one of you hears me calling, opens the door, which I'm opening, I open the door, okay, I will come in to share his meal side by side with him, because instead of getting these meals like Alessandro Ambrosio, where they're using these women in rapey kind of fashions to literally rape me and then rape my children, or some bullshit like that, I think I get because that's what it seems like. I think I get the 144,000 virgins to share those with Jesus, as is mentioned in Revelation. And like if we go down here, it talks about the servants, they're sealed. The 144,000 are sealed. Well, guess what? They're virgins. And virgin is not a word that's used to describe a male in the Bible. It's exclusively used of women. And so I think the idea is that these are women that have not been defiled with women or men, or it says not been defiled with women. Maybe that's the idea, is that modern day men are being considered women by Yahweh. But in any instance, these are the ones that have kept their virginity. They follow the Lamb, Jesus, wherever he goes, and they've been redeemed among men to be the first fruits for God and for the Lamb. And Jesus, I think this is the meal that it says, and then they never allowed a lie to pass their lips, either going in, as in like something sexually, or out. They just don't lie. And no fault can be found in them. They aren't doing some sneaky stuff where they're pretending to be virgins and they're not actually virgins. So, like Sophie Rain is claiming to be a virgin, but she's just a big hoe bag. She's literally selling her sexuality on on fucking OnlyFans for everybody to see. So, in any instance, it says, again, not to those who prove victorious. You can go look at this in Hebrew, but it very clearly says the one conquering. This, that, these, but I believe that in Hebrew, like if we click here and there's this, it says, he who overcomes, to him that overcomes, he that overcometh, he that overcometh, to him that overcomes, to him that overcomes, he who is overcoming, to him that shall overcome, to him that overcometh, to him that overcometh, to him who overcomes, and to him who overcometh, to him who's victorious. You can see that this word means victory, subdue, conquer, overcome, prevail, get the victory. Okay, so if I do that, I get to sit on the throne with Yahweh here, or with Jesus, who is Yahweh. He says, the one who proves victorious, to him who overcomes, I will allow to share my throne, just as I was victorious myself and took my place with my Father on his throne. If anyone has the ears to hear, let him listen to what the Spirit is saying to the churches. So, this is what I think is going on. And yeah, I think we're closer to it than anybody would want to admit. And I think it's really obvious if you have um, eyes to see and ears to hear. And yeah, so cool. Well, that's it. I don't have anything else to add. I'm gonna call it a night here, but it ended up being an hour long from just the start of Kilauea erupting. I was working on music stuff. I'm just working at my own pace. I'm not gonna stress out because I'm not gonna get it done in any one day anyway. And it's just like it's mentally taxing, surprisingly, like considerably mentally taxing. So yeah. Um, Anyway, well, I hope that made things make more sense, and I think people just need to be doing the right thing. The news should definitely be doing the right thing because they haven't been for a long time. And in fact, they've been participating in a rape game around me. That's wrong. You guys should feel ashamed. You're shameful. It's evil. I mean, I can sit here and rail against you all that I, just but when the world is like literally everything's as it describes it, the sixth seal, when it's like that, those terrifying events. I don't believe that those who actually follow Yahweh are going to be scared during that period, but I think y'all are going to be fucking terrified, and you should be. What you've done is evil and shameful. Like, not just the news, all the people that I'm talking about, Alessandro Brojo, the fucking news, you know, all these celebrities, the politicians in this country, all these fake Christians, these fake Jews, Muslims, just inherently because they follow a bullshit lie. Um, if you aren't following a lie, you are an actual Christian and you aren't doing all this stuff. Good job. I don't think you have anything to worry about. I mean, I actually think Yahweh will have placed you in a place that's safer than whatever. And some people are maybe not going to be safe, but if you change, repent, change your mind. Um, I think that there's like this idea that you'll still get out of this situation overall. You know what I mean? If you die during that period, right? Say like you're in a Muslim country and all this is going on, the Mark the Beast thing. If you die during that period, you'll just be brought back to life. There's all sorts of martyrs for Islam. Being a martyr for Christianity is like you actually get to live at the end. In Islam, you're following a cheaply made knockoff story that is obviously a farce. Christianity, you're following the one true deity, Yahweh, the one true God who actually has power to do all this. So, all the things that he says. When he makes a promise, he keeps it. Which is also why, I'm just going to say this again. Modern day Judaism doesn't engage certain promises that Yahweh has made. And I think it's just a bunch of people who've gotten themselves into rabbinic authority. They're masters or teachers, and they like that, earthly human power, and they don't want to admit that they've been wrong. Messianic Jews have it right. Good job. But, for the most part, like rabbinic Jews, Orthodox Jews, stuff like that, definitely secular Jews, like you don't believe in anything. And like, what, you're just ethnically? No, it's an ethno-religion. Come on. So, yeah, I don't really have anything else to add. Um, I'm finished here. Let me think. Is there anything else to add? I really think that we're in the last bit of time. I don't know the exact time frame. I feel like, and I feel like part of this is like Yahweh's just keeping me from knowing and saying because like, part of it is like it's not for you to know when this is going down. If that's the case and you're trying to time it, like timing the market, like okay, I'll invest now. You're not going to have it. So just invest now in believing in Yahweh and Jesus, and you'll be good. But like if you wait on it, you are not going to get out of this. You know what I mean? I think that's the suggestion. Maybe, but I wouldn't if I were you. It'll only make it worse. So, okay. I hope you've enjoyed. I hope this was informative and fruitful and whatever. And I'll catch you next time. Have a blessed one. Yeah. Later. Yeah.